28 February, sundown, South Jetty, Nehalem River. The wind was a fine-toothed comb in the hands of a cruel barber. The wind was a water cannon firing birdshot. The sea lions were wetter than I was, but they enjoyed it. 3 March. Sonnet for Gwendolen. It is the complication of her life, her close connection with the outside world, that tells me she will never be a wife and I a husband of the unexplored. The work of house and garden consume her, and still she nurtures the surrounding forest, and she spares no thought for death's marching winter. She and her church of friends shout life's chorus. I walk the beaches, counting waves and waiting. Wave-washed sand reflects the sky. Sand and water straighten a pathway for their return to the sea. A heron shades the sun. I hold my breath. Is this flapping shadow or the next my death? 4 March, for Seiji, my granddaughter. When I think of sunshine, I see your face. I know that you are clouds and rain, snow and wind as well. But I am far away, and it has been long since I've seen any of the people you are. And so I think of sunshine and see your face. I know that I should validate them all, the snow you sometimes are, the cloudy days, your days of gusty wind and driving rain. But I am far away. I think of you, I think of sunshine, and see your face. 10 March, for Ken Barkley. Bits and pieces of promises to the god of time smother me. Clockwork. Word energy fades. The desire to bite the sweet melon of the world with word teeth leaves one. Appetite remains. There is no energy for feeding. Wheeler Poems, May-June 1998. 28 May. Nehalem Spit. Low tide. Sunset. I open ocean ozone to my lungs, and the ocean special heated metal to my eyes. I am not blind Homer, and this bronze riot is not the ancient Aegean, but the excited agony of warriors churns in my ears. For George Thomas, poet, machinist. The ocean, hidden under the last light, is the hard and cold black blue steel that precedes the grinding wheel. Rob Sloanes was a physician's assistant at Wheeler. He provided me with the punchline and other good bits of this piece. WHAAFE for Rob Sloanes. There are some that come to me afflicted with a malady from which they thought themselves insured. And so they are, but they can't be cured. And there are some that come with injury that, though they spend their way to penury, there's no repair that's known to me that returns to them their lost capacity. Some come to buy what they were not given. They come to me and ask me to refine the work of the resident in heaven. Most are stuck with the manufacturer's design. There are ailments, injuries, and shortcomings with which humanity must simply cope. You can wait for the second coming, but modern medical miracles provide no hope. Too often the only hope that I can give, and too often I could not do better if I were king, is the hope that giving pain a name is palliative. We have an acronym for everything. 7 June. I spent a couple of hours on Nedona Beach by the South Jetty in the low sand dunes and driftwood behind the beach, while a gibbous moon advanced to the edge of the ocean. I wrote this poem by its light. For Marianne. I am searching the moonlight for a poem. The stars are weak in the moonlight and the diminishing twilight. The moon is sometimes bright enough to see these words, but it glows and fades in a mottled sky. The clouds are a single string flowing north across the moon. The clouds are a bull trout moving slowly up a meadow stream. This driftwood desert is hidden from the ocean by the berm thrown up by winter surf. The salt-bleached wood is bright in the wind-sculptured sand. The tall beach grass is dark and is lifted in islands above wind hollows. Tonight the wind stops beside me, then slowly wraps its arms around me. Quick gusts kiss cheek and neck, taunting, cold. 3 nights now till the full moon. You could be here with me then. You won't. I will probably be here, looking for a poem. 14 June. Nehalem Spit, near the north jetty of the Nehalem River. I'm sitting on saturated beach at low tide, watching to see that a wave higher than most doesn't sweep up and wet my feet. There has been a fine drizzle, not enough for a coat, but long enough to be dampening. There was the wave that I have been watching for. I grabbed my knees in order to hold my feet up above the slow rolling inch or less of water. I am sitting in my collapsible chair, my fluffy winter coat with the fluffy hood across my knees, my lovely umbrella across my coat, my little word processor on top of my umbrella. This is a lovely place to be, and it is a lovely time to be here. Sunset is about 9 p.m. now. It's about a half hour past sunset. I am close enough to the north jetty that it is dim but firm in the mist to the south. That means that I am a couple of miles or more up the beach from my parking place. There are no man-made shapes to be seen in that direction. All of the shapes are water shapes, and shapes water-made in sand. Smooth shapes made of low-tide, slow water. I have nothing to say except that it is pleasant to be here doing this, typing away at words of little content. I can't see the screen on this little word processor. There isn't enough light to repair my typing errors, but it doesn't make any difference at all. It is physical pleasure to be running my fingers over the keys, adding that stumbling percussion to the sea's soft jazz. Who is the heroine of Cyrano de Bergerac? Roxane, the balcony scene. I feel the condemnation she poured down from her balcony on her stumble-tongued lover, until her lover begged love words from Cyrano. The hidden passion of Cyrano inflamed her. All that lover could say on his own, and all that I can say, is, I love you. A distant wave crash is the sea's taunt. I wish there were good words to spill here. How fine an affection I feel, and how round and strong is my link with my surroundings. But words, empty words. I suppose the message is, turn off the need for words. Be. The mist is falling again. Droplets mingle with the hairs on the backs of my fingers, so the droplets are falling in the cracks between the keys on this keyboard. That, too, is a message. But the drizzle comes and goes. It's easy to ignore. Even so, it's almost time to pull on my jacket. It is not yet time to put up my umbrella. This is one of those times and one of the places, very good times, very good places, when it's fun to breathe. I love this light, but I'm sure it would be impossible to sell it to any of my friends and relatives. The beach above the damp line is light gray. The damp beach is darker gray. The saturated beach the same gray as the sky. The gently roaring low tide, its low waves, an undifferentiated, textured gray. The occasional inch and 2-inch deep waves that sweep to my feet are black lines, broad ones and narrow ones. They are intersecting arcs of many sizes. Above the textured gray of the ocean, there is a streak of gray sky, then a tarnished slash of light, a knife slash with a broad twist. I love you, light. I love you, darkness. I love you, wet salt air. I miss you, Cyrano.